All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Pi Day live stream, March 14th. Hope everyone got something nice from their loved ones for Pi Day.
No, completely missed it. Didn't get a thing, and that was yesterday.
Oh,
So
that's
definitely
right.
not getting any. Yeah, you guys
Ah,
remember you're behind the times.
What did I miss
yeah.
again?
I live in the future. It's Pi Day,
Pi Day.
14th of March, 3.14.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we're
Sorry.
Yeah,
supposed to
that,
celebrate
that,
with pies.
Ah,
that's okay. You can wait until May, and
May 4th
yeah,
for
May
the Star
4th
Wars Day,
for the Star Wars Day.
where you get a lightsaber.
Yeah,
Or you discover your
about to
father
say
is actually your
31st
enemy.
April.
Right. Oh, what happened, Duke?
oh, shit. Hang on.
Oh, my
Fuck.
gosh.
Yeah, right.
I thought I'd filled my water bottle with cold water. We use filtered water, and I usually just use old soda water bottles because they're a bit stronger than the cheap crap ones. And I mustn't have looked at the water, what it said on the water bottle. I appear to have filled my water container with tonic water.
Oh, that's not
That
bad.
that would be a surprise if you're not expecting it.
Oh fuck yes, it was.
Years
Oh,
ago, I got a cousin who his mum had sent him out to chop a whole pile of firewood. Anyhow,
oh,
um, so they had a stove that burned wood, but so they had to do that summer and winter. Anyhow, he comes in thirsty as hell, grabs the bottle of water out of the door of the fridge, takes a big old slug to discover his mum's put a bottle of vinegar in the door of the fridge.
oh fuck yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, that'll nearly kill you.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to go and I've got some really nice Bickford's cordials, so I'll have to mix that up. But yeah, that was a bit of a shock. Trying to take some pills and get tonic. I mean, soda water's all right, but tonic water needs something else,
Like gin.
preferably alcoholic.
Gin.
Oh, anything.
Yeah, it's a bit of I quite like the old gin and tonic.
Yeah, it's quite nice actually. The old what's it?
It makes the gin taste all right.
Brandy and lemonade. That's a nice one. Another one, if especially for the tropics, Tia Maria and lemonade. Now I know it sounds weird, but over crushed ice, Tia Maria and lemonade, lovely stuff.
I don't know
And
what that is.
you don't know what Tia Maria is.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
like a
It
coffee
means it
liqueur.
coffee
means
flavored
Anne Maria. Is it
Tia
Tia
Maria.
Maria?
Tia Maria.
Tia
Ti
as in aunt.
no, just
In
Tia
Spanish is
Maria.
aunt. Okay.
Yeah, it's really nice. Really, really nice. It's a light coffee liqueur. It's a you know how a lot of liqueurs are thick. This one's more, yeah, it's a very light coffee liqueur.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently,
Very, very
science
happy.
science is in the side of God. I'm looking at Google Scholar. I can't find any articles that says that concludes that God exists. So
No,
um,
it's
Mm.
strange. I look there all the time too, and I'm yet to find one.
yeah, it's interesting. It's almost like science doesn't demonstrate the existence of God at all.
Yeah, does the opposite.
I
Yeah,
mean, it
it's
doesn't it
Well,
certainly
doesn't
neither.
technically disprove the existence of God, right?
I
no, but
That's
mean,
not what
it
science
provides
does.
evidence
It,
against.
it might be stabbing
to
the side of
to
God.
be honest, to be fair, neither does religion. It can't prove God either. So
Sure, sure. But
Yeah, that's why you need
yeah,
faith.
Right.
Oh, I
So
was going to ask, should I write up a little tutorial and post it on the AXP so that young Damon knows how to do a screenshot, how to post a screenshot?
it's just
Because
that it's
it's
just that
gotten
it is stupid, right? He keeps on
it's
calling it a screenshot, and for the longest time, whenever he kept on talking about, oh, I got, oh, right, he says he's taking
hey
a
tuna.
screenshot so that he can post it, right? Post it to Google or YouTube, report it to YouTube. Hey, tuna.
Put it on his bloody yeah. If you're going to put a screenshot up, the only way to do it is you've got to do it on your profile. But
Yeah, but the thing is, I get it. Yeah, he's taking a screenshot. But the funniest thing is when he says, "Here is a screenshot of what CYB said," and it's just he's just pasting text.
he's and
He's a little on the slow side. Like, honestly.
Well, but I
Um,
mean, I think what he's trying to say is that I'm posting what I've screenshotted, and here is the quote of what's in the screenshot. But he
I
can't
think
say that,
it's
right? He
more
can't say this is from a screenshot that I took last week. He has to say here is a screenshot, and then post this out of context comments that pretty much says that he's an idiot, but he doesn't know. But he keeps on posting and thinking that it's somehow helping his point. It is hilarious. I mean, I normally try not to interact with him, but he's been just so funny.
Yeah.
I
And I
yeah,
really hope he joins us again this week because that
oh,
was great.
I laughed out
So
so much.
enjoyable. It was lovely.
I will admit that if the day ever comes where I actually get within 3 meters of him, I am going to have to do violence. I'm
No,
afraid I'm just going to have
don't
to
do
do it.
violence. He would forever be posting that and constantly like whining about how Oof did violence on him, despite him
No,
saying
no, no.
that he will
Look,
commit violence on gays and trans people.
Yeah.
it's perfectly okay though if you tie him into a pretzel and then while he's lying on the ground,
Right.
you creep at him. I'm pretty sure I've heard that's
Yes.
okay.
Yes, that's
Uh,
Somewhere I
okay.
can't remember where.
And
I
they
mean,
show him Jesus.
I can
There you go.
accidentally
Call for Jesus. See
cause.
if he can get you out of the pretzel.
I went
It's
to
like that
the
scene. Hold on one second. It's like
you're
that
right.
scene in Pulp Fiction where they have the Bruce Willis character and the other guy, Ving Rhames' character, tied up, and the evil guy says, "Bring, bring out the Jesus, bring out the Jesus."
Yes. I I went to the shops, the shopping centre, which I hate to do, and some twit was being a wanker trying to drive around and through and everything, and people were yelling at him and whatnot. And he tried to barge his way in front of my car. And Blug will tell you, it's a 25-year-old Volvo. It's just on 2 ton of solid Swedish metal. And you look at it and you go, this is a car that they don't care. The owner doesn't care if he runs it into a wall or anything because I don't. And he tried to push his way in, and he's driving one of those Tesla fucking SUV little bullshits. And I wouldn't let him in.
The
A
Cybertruck.
Hitler wagon.
Not a Cybertruck. They're illegal. You can't buy them in Australia.
Oh, then
But
what is it?
Yeah.
some little
One of the other sex ones.
yeah.
Because remember, Elon Musk is a man child, so he named his Tesla models after sex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he probably thinks like it's so clever.
Yeah, he thinks
And
that's
he's
clever.
the funny thing is, he kept trying to rev his motor, but it doesn't
And
work if you're in an electric vehicle.
yeah, I know. Like, what are you doing?
And the
Like,
windows are
to
down.
be fair, you'd be hard pressed to beat one of those off at the you know.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You'd need quite a thing at the lights to keep up with one. They have some get up and go, but
You'd need a decent
I
motorcycle. Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't want to own one of those Nazi death wagons because
But
yeah, they're more likely to kill you than even the infamous Ford Pinto.
yeah, but he
Hey,
winds down
Craig.
his windows and he starts yelling at me about cutting him off or some shit. Then he gets out of the car, and I go, "Oh, fuck this! All right, I'm going to put a stop to this now." So I get out of the car, my car, hop around the door, and hold up my working walking stick, and say to him, "Stop! Think you're going to get hurt." And I didn't realise that the arsehole had pissed off that many people in the shopping centre car park that there were. I turned around, I heard cheering and clapping, and I turned around, and there's about 30 people behind me, all with their phones out, going, "Yeah, fuck off, you wanker," blah 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 blah. And his personalised plate was Ego One.
Oh,
Uh,
A little bit too on the nose, isn't it?
yeah,
yeah,
really. With that, you should go with Butt Munch too.
yeah. But apparently he'd pissed off. He tried to push in all through the shopping centre car park till finally he ran into me, who said, "Fuck you, I don't hit my car, I don't care." Um, and I got out of the car and told him to get back in or he'd get hurt. And there's people behind. It just goes to show that in today's world, it's getting harder to get away with being an arsehole, which I think is fantastic, because the only reason there are so many arseholes in the world is people let them get away with it. People need to call them out, hold them accountable, and just say, "No, you can't do this. That's unacceptable."
Yeah, and like some of those guys do get called out on social media, and
Yeah,
there are ramifications. But then what happens is that if there's enough attention, they go and get on whatever give go or whatever give and go, where they get all these bigots essentially donating to their cause, and they end up getting more money than they may have lost.
but it's just the thing with Damon is he's taken it past the point of an intellectual argument. He's taken it past the point of insults. He's taken it to the point of, if there is a legal case to be had, definitely, for defamation and for, yeah, because when you start calling people pedophiles and all that sort of shit, that's, yeah, you you can, if you want to, and you have the money,
Hey,
take
so
that to court and win.
you got to get with the times. It's pronounced PDF files
Oh,
now.
sorry, PDF.
Yeah.
Who started that? There was was it APOD
Oh,
or someone who kept on mentioning PDF files?
that was
I don't
Carl, I
know.
think.
Oh,
I think
Carl.
it was
Okay.
Um,
APOC.
but yeah, it's I was watching a thing the other day where they were talking about language that is sort of designed to circumvent the sort of auto censor
Yeah.
stuff, and how this is nothing new in humanity. This has been going on forever. All of the all the words that your grandparents use, like Jiminy Crickets and
Yeah.
um, all of those sort of words, they're all and G's and Jiminy and they're all words that were invented by kids to circumvent the censorship of their parents at the time, so that they could use the Lord's name in vain without getting into trouble for it. So, but over time, it basically became the terminology of the grandparents. So yeah, it's pretty funny how it's just continuing on, but
Was
now
that
it has
the
um, yeah.
was that the
Sorry,
Guest and Rob Words one?
no, I don't think it was no, it wasn't a Rob Words. I quite like Rob Words as well, but I'll find out which. I'll dig it up and um, pop up the vid. Give us a bit.
Yeah, so just so that people who might be watching this, the few people who do watch, know what the history is. So, um, with oh, hold on, I have to get ready. With our friend Monkey Boy,
Laugh for while you can, monkey boy.
the issue started where him and Pirate kept them bringing up, sex and how biological sex is determined and how it is same as gender. And they were going on and on about, sex is binary and all that, and sex is gender, all that. So my point was that those are nice. My point was that if you're going to say sex and gender are the same thing, then you are in trouble whenever you're trying to socially interact with anyone, because you presumably have to know what their biological sex is in order for you to determine what their gender is. And my point was that that takes you into kind of interesting issues where you may in order for you to when you meet someone, in order for you to say that that person is a man or a woman, you have to know what their biological sex is. And on top of that, from Monkey Boy's point of view, biological sex is based on the size of the gametes. So that means when he meets a little kid, he has to, according to him, uh, and I'm not saying he does this. I'm just saying that if those are the things that you believe, you have to determine whether that kid is producing a large gamete, or a small gamete. And there's no way you can do that. There's no way you can do that just by looking. And technically, for um, the production of sperm, if it's a little kid, you aren't going to be able to determine that. Um, and you would have to do very invasive stuff to figure out, which which gamete that they are even built to produce. So that's the point I was making. And so the idea is that, if that's how you believe, how you determine someone's gender, then you're in a tough position when you're meeting little kids. And you could just say, no, that's not what I do. He could still stay on his position that sex and gender are the same, but he could say that, no, I don't exactly determine what their sex is. I infer it by the way they look or whatever. He could say any of that to defend himself, yet he doesn't. He refuses. And some of it, and maybe he's just too stupid to
Yeah,
make that argument. But he just will not uh, move or even respond when I ask him what he does. He would just rather just keep going on and on about some nonsense. So this is him screenshotting, posting screenshots. And the funny thing is, like, when he's like posting these stuff that I've wrote to make fun of him, it doesn't make his position better. So he's here he says, okay, I'm not posting that. Uh, Posting, if you want to explain how a doctor diagnoses a person's biological sex, it's chomo. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to do kind of argumentum absurdum, that his position leads to those kind of absurd positions. Uh, but he quotes me saying, "You said sex determination based on the size of gametes. So what in all that's holy are you doing when you meet little children? When you see a little girl, you check to see if she's producing eggs before you conclude her gender. How in the hell are you extracting their gametes? And what do you do when you don't get any gametes? Do you try harder? Why won't you confirm that you aren't molesting kids just because your wrong belief that sex and gender are the same? They need to check your browser history, keep pretending to avoid entailment of your view that gender is biological sex. He won't deny that he checks little kids for gamete production. And the thing
You
is,
see,
he won't deny
that
it.
that is where the line has gone into, as far as I'm concerned, do violence or, and you can't do it because you're not in Australia. But yeah, that is litigation, as far as I'm concerned. Um, that sort of accusation, it's it's vile. It's when did it become normal? And notice that it's only normal for certain types of theists and right wingers, cookers, which Damon is and has admitted to.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, most of these guys, especially like Carl, whenever they get destroyed on an argument, that's like their immediate thing. They call you a pedo or a molester or whatever. Um, and I'm trying to, and not directly trying, but I'm obviously implying, right? Especially when he says things like children are property. When you think that way, it's dangerous when an adult thinks that way about little kids, that they're children. It's like how a lot of the Christians say, well, God could just kill you because God created you. God can do anything. Because from their point of view, we are just God's property, right? So
Anyone who thinks children are property would automatically get put on the,
that
and
list,
I've forgotten the name. Our social security has a separate section for children's welfare and uh,
We even registered.
yeah, that sort of thing. They would get put onto that. I happen to know that because I know someone who works pretty high up in that area, and there are red flags. Anyone who keeps claiming children are property, that's, and it's usually in custody cases or um, uh, what's the money? What's the name of the money you pay to alimony, child maintenance, that sort of stuff. Husband's trying to say, oh, I don't want to pay for the kids' school or whatever because they're her property, they're not my property anymore. It gets
yeah.
really
So
strange.
so this is where he explicitly says, it sure sounds like you're a chomo kitty diddler from what you've said so far. Are you? And I responded, I'm not. And it's easy for me to respond that way because I'm not. And I wouldn't want to be accused of that. So I can quickly deny it. It doesn't take much for me to deny it. But when I ask him to uh, respond to my questions about what you do to determine the gender of a child that you meet, he completely deflects. He will not respond, which is very suspect for me. I have no idea why he wouldn't just say, I don't touch the kids. I just look at them, and based on the way they look, I determine what their gender is, which is what you do when gender is a social construct. The way they appear, the way they present themselves, the way they talk, the clothes they wear, etc. Not any one of those by itself, but all together as a social presentation is what the gender presentation is, and
To,
that's how you determine someone's gender,
to be
right?
honest, I couldn't really tell the sex or gender of children if playing, on a sports field, whatever, or down at the beach. Everything's so androgynous now, especially in Australia, because we have the the, the sun protection shirts.
Hmm.
I've forgotten what they call, but yeah, they're unisex. Everyone wears
Razzies.
big hats. What are they called again?
Razzies.
Razzies. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Um, it's I got a hard enough time telling anyone under the age of 30. I got no idea. I think once you hit 50 or once you hit over 50, you can't really guess the ages of people. And it's the same for, for gendering people. Um, Pretty much my only indication is if they're wearing a dress or not, maybe. And in Australia, it's really hard because dresses
Yeah.
aren't, yeah,
I mean, for the most part, parents will dress them in a way that fits their gender, right? So, but yeah, you're right. If their haircut isn't a very obviously one gender or the other, or at least like very feminine,
yeah.
you wouldn't think that that kid is a girl or a boy, or like you said, if they're wearing just something androgynous. Yeah. So, but for them, you try to determine it, and if you can't figure it out, then you can't figure it out. You don't go and try to figure out what their biological sex is
I
ever.
mean, the, the worst thing for me is, when I meet mates who have got kids or young babies and they go, oh, and it's,
Yeah. Yeah, especially when
it's,
they're an
I got
infant,
no
right?
fucking idea.
Yeah, you have no idea when you're an infant. So
Yeah.
so
Like the,
so you have to have the parents say, what the gender is. And
yeah,
that's actually part of the social aspect of the gender, right? you're
yeah.
you're told that this is kind of like a preferred pronoun in a
It's,
way.
but the
It's
funny
like,
thing is,
yeah.
it's a gender reveal, not a sex reveal. I think
Right.
that's telling.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like if you burst a balloon, penises pop out, right? It's like
Yeah,
Oh no,
sex
hang
it's
on.
reveal
No,
has some connotations that probably don't go down well.
there could be a
Rather than
marker for that.
rather
You
than
might.
popping balloons, you drop the drawers. You go ta-da!
There could be a pinata penis and no, you
Well, but then you've
might
already
get
revealed it.
that.
This is interesting. We still get a lot of colored onesies, usually pink or blue, but plenty of unisex yellow and cream. The pink and the blue thing, I think some of you may already know. Uh, it's relatively modern connotation of pink being a girl and blue being a boy.
About
Um,
100 years, I think.
yeah,
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 maybe
because it used
70.
to be the other way, right?
Yeah,
Maybe not
yeah,
pink, but blue
yeah. No, no.
was like
Pink
for
was
a girl.
pink was the color of men's clothes. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. And then somehow
Yeah.
it swapped over
yeah,
for unknown
because it's
reasons.
a social construct.
Yeah,
But all right,
and
enough of
men wearing
yeah.
dresses. That's
Oh, that's right.
perfectly normal in Arabic countries. They don't call them dresses, but they're
Yeah.
they're functionally similar. That's or kilts.
Yep.
in Scotland. That was perfectly normal.
Yep.
So
And men
so yeah,
holding hands in, Middle East is not considered
Oh,
feminine.
well, that was
that
standard
that
in
freaked me.
even in Western
Yeah,
society until the it was back in the late 19th century. I think it was they had the law came
Britain.
in to make in Britain, yeah,
Home.
and there
Yeah.
was who was the poet who
Uh,
Byron?
no.
Byron, yeah, it might be Byron who was arrested, and then after that, everyone became paranoid about the idea that they might get seen as being gay, so that stopped being a thing that English men did.
Yeah.
Even in
But
certain parts of Europe, men still hold hands, and
yeah,
it's a little bit freaky. Must
yeah,
admit.
it seems weird. It does seem
I mean,
weird, like
I got my
holding
ass
hands.
pinched. I got
Yeah.
my ass pinched more in Europe by men than I did when I occasionally go to the gay Mardi Gras or a gay nightclub or something. It was really, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's because you're a beardy weirdy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a furry. They like the furries.
I did theatre. I got so many propositions.
Well,
uh,
you're a bit of a sexy beast.
Modern comedy wanted to remove stand jokes from the stage play version of Monty Python's Life of Brian. So it's wait, what is stand jokes?
Oh,
The
the
Remove.
Loretta,
movie scene joke.
Lore-
Loretta and Stan.
yeah. Um,
Stop making some noise.
His right to be a woman.
Ah, fair enough.
All right. So let's move to the main topic. So I did want to, because there were some discussions about the fine tuning argument, I wanted to have a discussion here because I thought it'd just be interesting for us to kind of go through it. So let me just bring this up. I'm trying, I thought I had it, but I scrolled down, unfortunately, looking through. Um, I'm going to bring up a comment about fine tuning from uh oh, hold on. Thought I had it. Oh, okay, from Richard Young. Uh I had it here. So according to Richard Young 4400, the fine tuning of the universe, physicists have identified dozens of numerical constants, like the strength of gravity or the electromagnetic force, that are so precise that if they were off by a hair, the universe would collapse or fly apart. So let's just stop there. And maybe I'll just have it up, but just in a different format. Uh, all right. So this idea, and they bring it up all this time, these and when he says numerical constants, it's probably talking about uh, physics constants. The strength of gravity could be could have a wide different range, and it won't necessarily cause the entire universe to necessarily fly apart, depending on how much, right? The way the different galaxies clump, the way star formations occur, the way um, planet formations occur, it'll be affected by the strength of gravity, right? Because all that depends on how gravity clumps those things together. But it's not like if you're off by a tiny bit, and they bring up this like um this idea like you could have like one part in a billion trillion or whatever, and it's all based on the units that we use for some of these constants. So those are things that we make up, and the fact that based on the units, some of those numbers are tiny or whatever, or because they're precise, they have a lot of digits. That doesn't mean that they are like have some huge precision. I think, and Plug, I think you'd know more about this. Some of the forces, like weak, strong nuclear forces, could affect or have a profound effect, right? Because it would
Yeah,
affect how, yeah, go ahead.
all of them do have an effect. For example, just the strength of gravity. For
Hmm.
example, there is a point at which it would basically cause everything just to fall into black holes.
Yeah.
There would be no stars; it would be all black holes, or it would not. You would not be able to start stellar fusion
Hmm.
because you just couldn't get enough heat to and pressure to hold a star together sufficiently. So it is there are
But but
bounds
but
within it,
but that
but
doesn't
then
mean that the universe would collapse or fly
mm,
apart, right?
and that's an irrelevant fact. Let's assume it will fly apart
Hmm.
or collapse. Um, the reality is that what we see is actually relatively good evidence for a multiverse, not a fine tuned universe by a god. The one that I always put up, which is a recent paper that addresses this exact issue for the cosmological constant. And it turns out that the cosmological constant is actually right at the edge of the range in which a universe like ours could exist in. It's the perfect value for it is something in the vicinity of 800 times larger than it currently is. So it's not off by a hair. It could be 800 times more than it currently is, and the range in which it could a, a universe that could produce life could exist is 6 orders of magnitude wide. So it's not even close to being on a hair trigger that particular number. But the fact that it's right near the edge of what's survivable, well, what will create a universe that's good for life, is actually even better evidence that it's the for a multiverse. Because if you think of it this way, what's the chance that we would be in a universe where we have exactly the perfect value of a constant that we actually have a good idea of what its range of values are that would create a universe that's okay for us to exist in? It's vanishingly small that would be precisely at the peak point. It's extremely likely that it'll be just somewhere randomly in the range, and it is definitely somewhere randomly in the range, not anywhere near that peak point. So yeah, from that perspective, um, I think it's actually extremely good evidence for a multiverse, and we just happen to live in. There could be for every universe that life could evolve in, there could be a trillion universes that life couldn't evolve in. There's no reason that there's no specific reason why there can't be any number of universes
Yeah,
in a multiverse.
but one thing I'll say about that, because I think one of the trolls bring it up. Yeah, Neppy keeps on bringing up how multiverse doesn't exist and all that. I mean, technically, we don't have any evidence that a multiverse does exist. A lot of it is just it could exist, and here are some of the ways it could, or some of the multiverse discussion is from a mathematical point as well. Uh, but those are just right now just hypotheses, right?
Yeah. There's more than one way for a multiverse to exist as well, because, for example, what we don't know is how big our universe actually is. We know how big the universe that we can see is, but how big the actual universe is, it could be near infinitely larger than the universe we live in. It could be part of some giant um, pile of bubbles in universes. So we don't really know how big. We just know that there's no evidence of any sort of boundary effect occurring out into the distance. There's no reason to suspect that that Earth is located, right in the middle of the universe, and the 13.8 billion years ago, which is approximately 45 billion light years away, that boundary exists because of the speed of light, there's no reason to expect that just beyond that boundary is the edge of the actual universe. You might expect there'd be some sort of edge effects that would be obvious there, but there isn't. So yes, the universe itself might have what appear to be fairly constant parameters in the section we're in, but there's no reason to say that the universe doesn't have varying constants. So that obviously not constant, but varying values of those constants spread across very, very large areas. And we just happen to live in the area we can live in. It's a little bit like, freshwater fish live in the freshwater stream that they're capable of living in. They don't live in the desert. They don't live on the land. They don't live in the ocean. They live in the place they can live. So we evolved in the place where we can live. So again, there's no reason to expect that this isn't something that's a reasonable hypothesis, as opposed to just some unexplained intelligent beast that, or disembodied mind that just happened to exist without any explanation for why that exists. The universe must have an explanation, but this omniscient, omnipotent being doesn't have to have an explanation. It just is. Yeah, it's special pleading in its purest form. Absolute bullshit.
Yeah, and then to take that to a god, right? That there's some god that made those. Excuse me, had to sneeze. Had to make those settings, that precise setting, and did it for this life to occur, which seems to be an interesting argument against the biblical creation story, right? Is uh, why wouldn't you need that precise tuning in order for all the universe to occur and for planets to form, etc., when God just poofs everything into existence?
Yeah, and why does God need a quadrillion planets to create a one planet for us to live on? That makes no sense whatsoever. Absolutely ridiculous. And of course, the Bible was unaware of the existence of anything outside of our scope when they created that theology. So yes, Christians have had to renegotiate what creation means in order to square it with the obvious reality of a round Earth, located in a solar system, located in a galaxy, located in a cosmos that not that yeah, the people who wrote it had no idea existed.
Yeah, so if the universe was indeed fine-tuned for humans to appear, God would just fine tune it so that humans could live on a flat Earth with a dome on top of us, with a local sun that provides all this heat, and we wouldn't have to worry about all these like physical constants, gravitational constants, weak, strong,
Yeah, that
electromagnetic.
makes no
We wouldn't
sense
need
for
all
him
that.
to do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
A God that's omniscient and omnipotent does not need the universe to run itself.
yeah.
It can just do it itself. Like, that's one of the things that is always my argument. If there was actually a God running the universe, why don't we live in a place where we can't live? Like, why isn't the Earth located inside a sun, for example, and we're surrounded by extremely hot gas, but it doesn't hurt us? Yeah, there's no reason for us to live in a universe that appears to run itself just fine. Yeah, we could live anywhere, and yeah, we wouldn't need oxygen. We wouldn't need to breathe. It just, all of that stuff doesn't need to exist, but
All
it
these
does.
all these constants would be completely unnecessary because you just need magic. You just need a floating globe just that just moves around, and by realizing that none of it makes sense from a naturalistic point of view, that would be evidence that the universe was fine-tuned, because it just wouldn't make sense.
It's bonkers. Craig Kelly was asking a question to say, if multiple universes exist, would there not, or could there not be multiple versions of you and me in theory? Yeah, that's possible. It'd really depend upon exactly how those multiple universes exist. So, if, for example, the way the multiple universes exist is in the same way that quantum mechanics exists, so all possible versions exist simultaneously, which is definitely a solution to the wave function collapse. That basically everything that could exist exists simultaneously everywhere. Then, yeah, you can have versions of ourselves existing that are incrementally indistinguishable. So they're incrementally different to us in such a tiny manner that they'd be indistinguishable from us. But at the other end of the scale, um, there there could be relatively large differences between, if there is a finite number of universes, albeit a large number, um, the differences in constants and the likes could be so significant that nothing like Earth exists in any other universe. That in other universes they're very, very different to the starting conditions. Yes, the starting conditions have to be close enough so that more complex atoms can exist, but yeah, it might make more sense for things like silicon-based life to exist, or there might be atoms that are more useful than the four-way type atoms that you have with carbon and silicon. So yeah, there's it could be anywhere from no to absolutely.
It's just that it's hard to conceive that that's what would
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. Well, there's the thing with the quantum mechanics is an interesting one. There was also an interesting hypothesis I saw um, at one stage, which I thought was kind of an interesting one. It had basically, the idea was that the universe sort of evolved in a non-collapsed state, so all possible states existed until such time as a a being that is sufficiently complex existed to be capable of collapsing the wave function, and that collapsed all wave functions, leaving only one universe, the one in which that being exists. Um, and yeah, there's no evidence that any of the other universes existed left over because of that collapse of the wave function. And you go, well, that is an interesting way of solving it. So in that case, there is no multiverse, but the existence of a thinking being is the thing that brought the universe as we understand it into existence. And that thinking being could be, the first human, or the first fish, or whatever it was that was complex enough to look at it, the world around it, and achieve that outcome. So yeah, I thought that's kind of interesting, but it does require that you assume there's something special about the arrangement of matter that makes up thinking, a thinking agent's mind, which I have a problem with. So I'm not convinced by that argument, but I thought it was kind of an interesting way of doing it. So in that case, there is no multiverse, but simultaneously the universe is essentially created in the form of a multiverse. So yeah, it's a curious one.
Yeah, and the other, I think the classic argument against the fine tuning argument for God, anyway, uh, and the fine tuning argument for God is that the way we are on this earth, the way we have life, etc., could not have just occurred randomly. it must have been fine-tuned so that uh, we ultimately end up where we are sitting around talking to each other over the internet. And the argument against that is the puddle argument, right? Which is I think Douglas Adams, right? He's the one who came up
Yeah.
with it. Yeah. So the idea is that it's not that the universe is fine tuned for us. It's just that we are essentially the product of whatever happened in the universe. So I also like the lottery argument where when someone wins the lottery because they picked the numbers that was going to appear, it's not like the numbers that are being that were being selected was being selected for you, for that one particular person to get it right. You just happen to be the one that had the correct number. So I like to think of that way. But the puddle analogy is that um, it's not when you see a puddle, uh, uh, and it matches the hole that it is in perfectly, you can think what that either the puddle was shaped exactly to fit that hole in every nook and cranny, or the hole was what got created, or what appeared, and then when water fell on it, water essentially fit the size of the hole. And this also kind of is similar to the evolution part, right? When people say, well, why do we have two eyes? How could evolution know that humans would need two eyes? it's it's just
Well,
yeah,
it
go ahead.
didn't, because there's plenty of things that don't
Uh,
have two eyes.
that's right.
There are spiders that typically have 8, and there are little crustaceans called cyclopses that have exactly one eye.
Or no eyes.
Unsurprisingly, yeah, and there's plenty that have no eyes. There are box jellyfish that have 4 eyes, located on symmetrically, basically on the
and,
4
and
corners
they
of the
get
bell.
made fun of all the time by being called four eyes.
Yeah,
I've seen that happen.
by the other jellyfish.
In-
Yeah,
The ones without glasses.
Interestingly,
Yeah.
they've recently found out that some of our ancestors had 4 eyes, and that the
No,
pineal
really?
gland
Oh,
we
is
had 3.
is basically a merger of the old eyes that slowly became less and less eyes.
It's,
would it
well,
be
3
It's
three
eyes.
quite
eyes?
interesting.
Yeah, it's
Sci-fi
3.
had a thing on it.
Yeah, yeah, it was 3 eyes because
So
the
it was two little ones between.
Oh, I
it's
thought there
still
was
there.
only one
But
pineal
yeah,
gland.
so
Oh, you broke
yeah,
up
no,
there,
no,
right?
it's the same gland, but it's in like it was two. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely beings that have uh, lots of frogs, tuataras, lizards, snakes have 3 eyes. They have the that little vestigial eye in the center of their forehead that still does the job that that
Yes,
original eye
that's
did.
part of the same thing.
Yeah, it still has that pineal eye located there.
But
So yeah,
looking at how we are now, to say that we were created that way doesn't make sense.
no,
We're essentially the result of evolution, and depending on what happened, we could have ended up with very different looks or different
yeah, we could be having this
body parts.
conversation about why would anyone have less than 8 eyes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Sorry
insane.
to,
Like,
to
you
interrupt.
can't make that work.
go ahead.
Elwood
Book.
Bloomfield, he's nappy, isn't he?
I don't think so.
Elwood, yeah, that's Neppy.
It's
Oh,
nappy.
Elwood Brown. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Elwood
he's
Brownfield is.
nappy.
Yeah,
He's also Tim Wells.
yeah,
That's a newish one of his that he's spamming with. Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes it catches
Is
me
I think
off guard because, like,
still
When Tim Wells' comments came on, like initially I didn't realize it was Neppy, but it gets pretty obvious really quickly that it's
It does.
Neppy.
Yeah, it's the same shit. The same post. I see he posted his big list of what if the wind was 300 miles per hour
Oh my God.
stuff. I haven't seen that one for a while, but I had my answers still ready to go for it. I'm like, bam, take that. Because I absolutely love that big list. It just gets demolished on every single point. And there are such stupid questions like what if the wind was 300 miles per hour constantly? Well, a couple of things. That's not how physics works. And two, uh, animals live underground and in water. The speed of the wind is irrelevant if you live underground and in water. So there's a solution. It's just insane.
Yeah, I mean,
We would
basically,
evolve for those conditions.
life would have developed differently if the
Yeah,
conditions on Earth
we're
was
different.
different.
Yeah,
I-
that's
If
exactly
Earth
it.
was if Earth was bigger and more dense, and the gravity was stronger, we would have a different types of life forms than if it was like half.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. Um, yeah,
But
we'd
that
almost.
is the bubble. Sorry, the puddle thing, right?
It is,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. If the shape of that hole changed, the water would have a different shape to fit that hole.
But the reality is, the shape of that puddle changes constantly, and the water in the puddle has to change to match it. So
Yeah.
that's called evolution.
And because our environment doesn't stay constant all the time, look at all the animals that went extinct even
Yeah,
relatively recently because conditions changed.
yeah. Well, there's the recently there's some evidence that back in the early days before there were any vascular plants. So all there was on land were essentially mosses and like liverworts and things of that nature. Some very early proto sort of insects lived on land as well, and there were these giant things that looked like a tree trunk that were up to like 8 meters high. And yes, it's been
Oh
like
yeah, those
200
things.
years. Those things, yeah. Recent evidence suggests that they actually might have been another branch. So they're not a fungus. They're not a plant. They're not an animal, but they were a different kingdom of life altogether, and that whole kingdom became extinct. So yeah, they were able to look at because there were funguses in existence at the time, and in fact, there were funguses found in the exact same rock that those fossils are found in. So you can compare the molecules that are in the rock next to the fossils of the fungus to the fossils of this, and they contain very very different things. So yeah, that's the suggestion that they may have actually been a another kingdom of life entirely. That the world moved on, and yeah, when vascular plants evolved, all of a sudden those things couldn't compete anymore and became extinct. The environment changed, and they couldn't match it. So yeah,
Well, that can't be true because according to Nepi, there's no increase in complexity ever.
yes, everything just gets less complex.
Yeah.
And the irony being is, if you go and smooth out sand, you go and rake the desert flat and get rid of all of the sand dunes, and then come back tomorrow, there'll be sand dunes back. So you've taken away the complexity of sand dunes, and then they just reform. Must be
Or
magic.
or an empty barren field in the winter, come spring, is full of life and grass, which I would consider more complex than just empty dirt.
No, it's not more complex. It's just because the DNA was already there, says Neppy. It's all the complexity is just in one, in those two strands of DNA. in one cell, and the even if you have a trillion of those cells, it's actually less complex than if you only have one of those cells. Apparently,
You know, so from Nepi's point of view, when you take just a blank piece of paper, and then you do origami to make this complex, like crane or whatever, you did not increase complexity because
no.
you already had paper.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Oh my God, he is
Yep.
so stupid.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
this
so
this whole
fucking dishonest.
this idea that an acorn is just as complex as a huge oak tree with all
Yeah,
the number of all the leaves and branches. I mean, it's just because from his point of view, just because there are genes that encode the proteins that make the leaves and the bark and all that, he thinks the final product is just as is less complex
yeah,
than the acorn.
yeah, because the DNA got degraded or something along the way, so therefore it became less complex.
Yeah, he'll
And
say
you just
something
go,
stupid like that.
yeah, but the fact of the matter is that there will be billions of differences in the DNA of all of the cells around the tree. You actually see that in some trees. Have you ever seen a flower that is red on one side and white on the other? You see it quite often in dahlias.
Yeah.
The
You mean like not like upper side and underside, but on the same
No,
plane? Yeah.
on the same plane, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
those are due to a mutation
Yep.
that happens in the DNA, and all of a sudden you've got one side of the flower is red and the other side is white, or you get a branch of a tree that is remarkably different from all of the other branches on the tree. So yeah, these branches are evolving while existing on the same damn tree, which is kind of an interesting thing. You don't think that's a possibility that exists, that evolution can occur within an organism.
Uh, this is also an interesting one. Neil, I think you're talking about how basically that this is a new current example of kind of like what happened with mitochondria. Whoops. And some of the other organelles,
Yes.
chloroplasts as well, how they
Yeah,
got embedded into eukaryotic cells. This is where a nitrogen, I guess, is it embedding organism
yeah,
that got embedded into another, uh,
yeah,
I
and
guess, a
it's in the
plant,
process.
right?
Yeah, and it's in the process of losing genes.
Endosymbiosis.
Yeah,
Yeah, right, yeah. Which is an amazing example of evolution happening.
yeah, it is.
Yes.
Also, it's
Absolutely.
becoming more complex.
Yeah. Oh no, it isn't. Of course, it isn't. It's losing genes.
Right, it's losing,
Yeah,
and it is, but it's because it picked up something that was going to provide the same function or
yeah, that's
similar
exactly
functions.
right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
now the total organism is more complicated than the original organism.
right.
Um, but yeah, it's just insanity. Oh, hello, Putty Cat.
I mean, the thing is, like, it's just this complete lack of education and understanding of science, and being so
He turned off the cam.
confident in their oh my god, and being so confident in their ignorance. I mean, uh, that's what's driving it.
Craig Kelly's joke. Uh, that's terrible.
Okay, that reminded me of something I had just watched recently. I'm going to see if I can find it. It's and I hope I don't get stricken by it.
I hate it when you get stricken.
I It's gonna be. Oh, by the way, have you guys watched the channel Joel Reads Bible?
No, I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
quite good.
Yeah, it's he is so funny. Uh, I'm going to share it here. Is this it? Okay. Yeah, this is a channel I highly recommend it, and I'll put it in the notes to remind people. Um, but he talks to some of the people, and Tuna has seen it as well. It's just the jokes he makes, a little cracks that he makes when he's talking to them. It is just hilarious. Shoot, I'm gonna see if I can. There's one he was talking to a woman, and it was just hilarious how he was the way he was talking to her. Okay, I can't find it, but maybe next time I'll show a sample just to show how hilarious he is. But definitely go watch that channel and watch some of his videos. He's also kind of reading through the Bible, and and really funny stuff. So I highly recommend listening to him. Let me see. I wonder if it was a short that I had watched. Uh, Now I can't find it.
Trouble with kitties, they
Oh, he's chasing a fly. The
my
weather's been,
my
weather's
brother-in-law has a
been,
couple of dogs that want to levitate themselves up to get to geckos. It's
yeah,
hilarious.
the the weather's been pretty shit house with the rain, wind, whatnot. So he hasn't spent as long as he should outside, and he's getting a bit pissed off about the whole situation. But you'll fall, you silly bugger. No. Oh, what are you?
Oh dear.
Ouch, that's my hand.
Oh, you are really right. You just give them bunches. You're right.
My aunt had a cat that just used to want to bite and scratch everyone. It was just the worst damn cat. And she's like, "Oh no, it's a lovely cat. It doesn't bite me except for all the times it bit her." You just go, "Yeah, don't worry about that."
Terrifying, but
Okay, holes in her all over and scratches all over her hands, and it just gets stupid and then gets down behind a bed and wants to bite anyone that goes near it. You idiot cat.
Oh, did people have a look at that link I posted last week where they've knocked back the Australian when humans first arrived in Australia by another 25,000 years. And
Yeah,
with
can't.
that,
No,
No, I missed that
it
one.
actually brings into question the whole when did
South Africa.
humans leave Africa? Because you couldn't, yeah, it's throwing everything into flux about how long it would have taken the the whole out of Africa migration to happen. So they're thinking it's giving credence to the multiple Homo evolution moving into places and then coming together. Different branches of Homos, habilis, and all that other stuff moving in, and then interbreeding and all that sort of stuff. It's yeah, it's a little bit in depth, but it's for the Australian ABC, Australian Broadcasting Commission. So it's not that technical, but yeah, it's really a rather interesting little watch, and it also means that the Australian or the people, the Australian Aboriginals, definitely were saw the megafauna and hunted it, and yeah, a lot more in depth. It's just something I think it's pretty fascinating, especially because I've actually stood outside where the rock paintings and the excavation is being done. I was shown the sacred site by elders, but I wasn't. It wasn't the clan. The clan I was with. It wasn't their sacred site, so they couldn't go into it. But they could show other clans where it was. It's a bit political, if you will. But yeah, all very interesting. It's sort of like I saw it and I went, "Hang on, I've been there." It, yeah, I stood far enough away so that I could see the rock paintings, but couldn't go into the site itself. And that's the wonderful thing about travelling around Australia is you get to see geology that is so old and so unique. You, it's just mind-boggling. I mean, people who go to the Rock or Uluru for the first time, and if you get out past all the light pollution that's there now, with no photographic or anything, you can actually witness the color changes through the spectrum. It's just amazing, but you have to go further and further away because it's become the light pollution around there is stopping the beauty of the place, if you will.
Have you guys noticed how the light pollution has gotten worse because of the LED lights?
Yes,
I feel like that had a big impact. I'm not sure what the astronomy community thinks about that.
just in the bush, there is because LEDs are so energy efficient. A lot of campers and camper vans and that sort of stuff, caravans, are going LED lights, but it's actually you can have more light, and people are complaining about you know, this campsite used to be lovely. You know, the 50 vans here. You never had to worry about trying to being blinded by light, but because there's so much LED showing, yeah, it is a thing. You're dead right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I feel like the street lights are a lot brighter and wider because of
They
the
they
LED
are
lights.
they are whiter, but they're not necessarily throwing more pollution, light pollution upwards,
Hmm.
because they're better able to direct that light downwards.
Yeah.
So LED lights are definitely more capable. The reason why you used to have those ridiculous orange ones, essentially those orange ones, have a similar efficiency level to modern LEDs. In fact, might even be a little bit better, marginally more light output per unit of energy put in, but their color rendering is just awful. So as a result, it looks really quite dark at night because of that shitty yellow, the sodium vapor yellow but the LEDs are capable of doing just plain white light, so it looks it feels to our eyes like it's brighter, but it isn't actually necessarily any brighter than it was.
Interesting. I finally found what I was looking for, so I'll show it, and you guys can have a listen. Actually, I'll do this.
Keep hearing this awful noise the whole time I'm driving.
Is that your wife?
Yeah.
You ever step outside for a moment? All right, give it a try now.
Oh my God, the noise just stopped.
Ever come back in?
Hey, come back in.
I've been trying to tell you this piece of shit car. Stop trying to get this
There it
shit
is.
car. Get a BMW.
The noise just started again.
Yeah, we got husbands coming in all the time with the same problem.
No, the problem, sir, is he doesn't listen to anything.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. Hey, we got reruns of the Kardashians in the office if you want to give it a
That's
look.
what I'm gonna do. Sit there.
Yeah, that'll keep her busy for a while, but it's just a temporary fix. Eventually, you're gonna have to need a whole new unit.
Can I just leave her here? Keep hearing.
I was reminded of that because of Craig's joke.
I'm definitely going to have to show that to the missus, and she is really going to give me grief over it. But
I have to ask, is it illegal, or are Americans allowed to call the president an idiot?
No, it's actually encouraged, or I encourage it.
Because our Prime Minister went and toured some of the bushfire areas and basically had to leave because he was getting called an idiot, a wanker, all sorts of stuff. And I was just wondering, would that be considered illegal in America?
No.
You just can't
No.
threaten.
Yeah, you can't physically threaten that. But the problem is now, like let's say a comedian, late night comedian, uh, attacks or makes fun of the president, sends the FCC after you, or after
yeah,
the company, and that company then cancels you.
yeah. Oh, I hate this cancel culture business.
Yeah,
I want to join the right
exactly.
wing so I don't have to get cancel cultured. And you just go,
Yeah.
It's just straight projection.
Yeah, and he is so thin-skinned, and because he has power, he feels that he should use it. I'm sure he thinks that that's the smart thing to do.
Well, it's a thing. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Whether it's smart.
Watching Trump try and justify, and the others, and the other pirate, whatever he's saying,
Oh my God, yeah.
that we've made the regime change, we've stopped it. No, you haven't. His son's taken over, and his son's more radical than his father.
Oh, get this. His son, they killed his dad, his son, and his wife.
Yeah, they've done nothing in that country except make it more radicalized.
I mean, that's the thing. When that happens, now, I mean, previously when the population was going against the regime because of how horrible they are and killing protesters, now they're going to be nationalized, more nationalistic, having
Yes.
an external threat coming in and, bombing, violating their sovereignty. They're going to say, well, we need to build nukes so that we don't have U.S. coming after us.
And the other fun thing was, Trump trying to deny, no, the Tomahawks, they could have got them from somewhere else. They
Could have been anyone.
could have been anyone that supplied them.
Could have been Ra.
And then, what was the other one? Tomahawks.
Of the people who died after getting caught in IEDs and were walking around with no names.
No, but Nah, lost it.
Yeah.
It'll come
Well, I
back.
mean, the
Yeah.
thing with Pirate is that, when you criticize actions like that, because there are consequences without any kind of real benefit, he thinks that, oh, you atheists are defending a theocratic regime. No, no, we don't. I mean, I personally want Iran to be democratic. I want Iran where their people are able to protest without getting shot. And it'll be better if the country turns democratic, if
If they
internally they can
control
make
their
change.
own fate, if they,
Yeah,
yeah, if they have a
yeah,
say in their own fate,
right.
and
And no one's defending the dead Ayatollah. It's like it's stupid to say that atheists are defending him just because we criticize how Trump went about doing this, and why, right? Trump doing that is not because he's trying to protect the people of Iran. He's only thinking about himself.
but what did he say? Oh, the walls. There was something he said yesterday or something. The war's over. It's fine now. We've got it under control. And they have,
But also, please give us some help to defend the strait. And
Yeah.
go, yeah, it's under control,
yeah.
but we need some help to defend the Strait of Hormuz or whatever the
Oh,
however it's
that's
pronounced.
what it was. The the drones that are kicking the shit out of the US. Ukraine offered. Australia gave Ukraine some technology to combat drones, and Ukraine has perfected it and they've tested it, and it's working fantastic for them. And the Ukraine foreign minister offered it, that technology, to the Americans about 3 months ago. And Trump said, "Oh, thanks, but no thanks. I'll let someone have a look at it," and
He probably didn't say
refused.
thanks.
Because they wanted.
Yeah, well, he didn't say thank you, yes, but oh, someone will look at that, and it's it's technology that works. Ukraine has tested it. They're knocking down. They're the same drones that have been Iraq is using, um, and America's refusing to use it just because Ukraine does. It's it's just a comedy of errors. Right?
Yeah.
It just keeps going and going. Um, but yeah, Pirate is just. I I think he is laughing. It's a joke.
Yeah, and he's kind of disappeared for a while, but I'm sure he'll come back. I'm sure our oops, oh shoot, am I still on? Sorry.
Yep.
You're on.
Yeah, I'm sure
Laugh a while you can, monkey boy.
Monkey Boy misses him terribly, but I'm sure he'll be back. Uh, by the way, I wanted to. Did you guys look at this thread with that Machiavelli has started about logic? Because it was actually addressing the topic of the video, unlike majority of the comments on that section. But he
I
made a comment
started to
about.
read it, and the stream started, so I had to stop.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I just got home, so
Okay. Yeah, so this is one of those things where it's monkey bait or monkey bait because he responds to it, and the thing is, like, when he responds, he doesn't actually directly address the point. He goes off on a different point about, oh, this is an analytical formless conceptualization. So when Machiavelli was kind of talking about sort of what logic is, or kind of addressing the video where they talk about what logic is. He goes into like the philosophy of logic, and so it doesn't address what Machiavelli actually posted. But what's interesting is that during this whole exchange of back and forth, uh, Monkey Boy isn't trying to prove that the existence of God. That this isn't an argument to say no, your idea of logic is wrong and mine is right, and mine says that God exists. He's not interested in trying to uh, disprove atheists. He's here just to be a troll. I haven't seen him mention God a single time for a long months and months. I think I think initially he had tried to pretend that he believes in God and he's arguing for God, but almost everything he does on that in the comment section isn't about God.
Well, a classic contrarian right there.
Yeah, maybe it's a contrarian thing, but I think he's just there to, insult people.
That's true too. By the way, hey Craig.
Hey, Steve-O, how's it going?
Another night in the hellhole, but I'm alive and I'm kicking.
Do you usually get out at 9?
I used to get out at 8, but I live about at least 40 minutes away from where I work.
Oh, okay.
And then on top of that, if I have to grab groceries or anything on the way, that takes a little bit of time.
Yeah. Yep.
I have to admit, I love getting groceries delivered now. It's so much easier. The only problem is you don't get half the stuff you want, but you just get a refund. It's not
But you
too
get
bad.
100% of the stuff you need?
Nah.
No.
As a guy who works in retail, the way it works is they give you a list. If they don't have it on the list, they say no, we don't have it, and they don't charge you for it.
Sometimes they'll substitute something, and we have. So now Crystal has now started saying, "Please, no substitutes," because it's just they didn't have the tissues that we normally get, and that's the hang on, got to turn the camera on. That's the size of the tissues that we normally get. The size of the tissues that they substituted it with were that size.
Oh.
You couldn't even blow your nose. No. Yeah, you had to get 3 of them to blow your nose once.
2 to clean a pair of glasses.
So yeah, we got our money back on them. So one good thing they will do in Australia is, if you're not satisfied, you can give your money back. The same thing with if they give you milk that's the due date is the day it's delivered, the due by the expiry date.
Or if it expires before the due date.
So you can get your money back on that. So, but not having to go to the shops all the time is really nice, because shopping centre car parks, I think, are the most dangerous place in in urban communities at the moment.
They are Scottish tissues.
Yeah.
I did want to talk briefly.
I saw that. Yeah.
About this, except it's not what it seems to be. Did you see the investigation that the Friendly Atheist did about it?
No, I did not.
He had a lot to say about this particular story that puts an extremely large question mark on it. So yeah, they're saying that this comes from this Military Religious Freedom Foundation, and said it's received more than 200 complaints, except it hasn't. It's received one complaint claiming to be for a heap of people, and apparently this is standard behavior for this particular group. They just say, "Oh, you know, it,
Well,
he,
it's
I'm
kind of like, if someone says, "I know that 500 people saw Jesus after death."
Yeah, a little bit like that, but
Yeah.
saying, "Yeah, I'm talking on behalf of 32 military servicemen who have the same problem, and we come from all walks of life. There's Muslims and atheists, and I'm a Christian, and it's the same exact format of email that they do every single time, and it just sounds like bullshit." Because it's the same one over and over and over. There's no names named. There's no places given. There's no way to back up any of the, or, follow up any of the story. And apparently they went to this one person. He shared it with a nobody. And so this story has exactly one source, and nobody else has given any other sources for it. So yeah, it brings a huge amount into question about whether it's real or not. And yeah, even though yeah, he didn't say so, I'd sort of come to the conclusion it's almost certainly bullshit, that this didn't
Hmm.
happen at all, and this is just a made up story by this this MRFF. So yeah, but it's
Why
certainly
is it doing that though?
because the guy really likes to. It's a way of getting his name and organisation out there in the media. The
Yeah.
media picks up the story, and next thing he's getting interviews. And I can't tell you anything about the thing. I don't vet any of the stories. That this is a standard thing that he actually says. He doesn't vet the stories. He just reports what he's told. So he never attempts to find out if what he's reporting is actually true or whether it's just a lie.
Excuse me.
And yeah, so there's it's possible that it's a story made up by somebody um, from the right trying to catch the left in bullshit,
Hmm.
or it's a story from the left trying to make up lies about the right. There's no real
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Both of those scenarios can fit, but yeah, it's a really good. Again, that one was a podcast that I was listening to while driving. So
Yeah, I mean,
from
it did seem kind of unbelievable to me. I mean, it wasn't like completely unbelievable because I could see it happening, but I would think within the military they wouldn't be so blatant, um, that they would say things like, "Oh, we're doing this for God."
Yeah, well, the problem is there's got to be some believability in it, and there certainly is some believability
Yeah,
in the fact that the now that basically they're blowing away all of the guardrails,
yeah.
um, that it's not implausible that it could have been said. So yeah,
And there are certainly people that believe that, right? There are
yeah.
people who, I mean, even in the comments, they talk about, uh, I can't remember if it was Neppy, but saying that, oh, by 2035, rapture is going to happen, and all the things that are happening in Iran are a sign of it. And I think even
Oh,
maybe Florida
it's funny
Link
how
said,
that rapture just keeps getting pushed back 10 years.
Oh yeah.
It's always 10 years away.
well, Neppy isn't known for getting his prophecies right.
He's
Uh,
not known for getting anything right. Just
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because Neppy, one of the ways I was able to look him up was on Twitter, where he had said this was like 2020, where he said that Trump was essentially going to take over, even though he lost the presidency, remove Biden from the office and take the presidency himself. And I'm not sure if you guys realize it, but that never happened.
yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Funny how that never
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
and
was the guy.
yeah, and the thing is, like, when these things don't happen or when they're wrong, they don't say anything about it, right? They don't admit that they were wrong or anything.
Yeah, Neil was asking, like, so the reporter isn't a reporter. No, the guy from the MRFF is not a reporter. He's just a he's just there to help troops get their voice heard, and he shared it with this guy by the name of Jonathan Larson, who's a little who is a reporter, but so a journalist, but is he's not connected to the military in any way. So there's all of these reporters who are connected to the military that could have heard this story, and none of them were told anything about it. Not one service member went to their military person and went, "Hey, this just happened. I was over there, and or yesterday, yes, we had this briefing, and this is what was told." And reporters are well capable of looking after their sources, so it's not like you have to go through this thing. But yeah, so the MRFF shared it with this one person who isn't part of military reporting sort of structure, isn't a military reporter, and yeah, literally nobody else got the same story, and it hasn't popped up from anywhere. No one's been able to verify or even find a second source. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So yeah, be aware. This story is probably bullshit.
Yeah, it kind of confuses or can be confusing from that, or make you think that they have some association with the Freedom from Religious Foundation, right?
Yeah,
Because it
but
seems like it's like a military version of that.
yeah, but they don't. It's just this one guy.
Yeah. But yeah, Craig had a funny joke.
It it
Adam
looks
and
like
Eve were the first to read the Apple terms and conditions. One bite and the whole system collapsed. That's why I don't read the terms and conditions.
Yeah, you only crazy people do.
Well, that means I'm not crazy.
I've had a look at the latest AXP, and Donkey hasn't posted anything in the last hour, so it'll be interesting.
Well, he has to pretend that he's not online lurking here. Or maybe he's just too busy listening in that he hasn't made any comments.
Nah, he would have. He wouldn't have been able to resist the urge. He would have
Oh
popped
yeah,
that in.
narcissists can't help themselves.
Wait,
Been triggered.
I think he did post something.
I've forgotten how nice minties are, blog.
Minties.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're good. I like them.
they just can't chew them.
Yeah, they they do take a little bit to soften up. So
I'll send
I
Gina
I
a
think
packet with a warning note on them.
I mean he did post something when our live started. So he seems like he was listening in when I was going off on him.
there we
Yeah.
go. Oh yeah. Yep, he definitely was listening at that time
Yeah.
because well, it'd be a hell of a coincidence for him to have picked that up without any background.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. Um, by the way, I do want to make a comment. Has anyone heard from John at all?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
if anyone, I can't even find his email in my
Well, what do
thing.
you
I
mean you
must have,
can't find his email?
I can't
Is
find
his-
his email address. I must have put it. It's somewhere I can't. I'm pretty sure I had his private
Well,
email.
I mean, he's included in the group emails I send out to you guys.
Oh,
So
okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll try and reach out,
Yeah. So he's
see how he's going.
Yeah. I have his number. I haven't actually used it, but I'll at least text him, see if he responds. I would have thought he would have at least sent an email saying that I'm just busy or something. But I do hope he's okay. I hope
I
things
really
are
do,
okay.
because he would have told us about something by now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I'll let you know if I do hear from him. I'll let the gang know. So,
All right.
but yeah, John, if you're listening, I hope you're okay. Uh,
Yeah.
all right. So I'm going to close it up here before like getting to like the final minute when I'm getting warnings that we're getting dropped. Uh, but Neo,
Just something different.
yeah, uh, yes, Neo, I did notice that those guys have stopped the Dioecious thing.
I did just notice that Damon's pushed a little bit too far because Smoochie just had a go at him.
Oh,
He just said, Jesus fucking Christ, mate, talk about brain rot.
oh,
All you do is talk about CYB would make you think he's gotten under your skin. And I mean, for Smoochie he's the the most cool, laid back person on the
oh
face of
yeah.
the earth.
Yeah.
To make him lose it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well done,
hilarious
Dave.
when those guys attack him and he's just like it just like water off of Duck's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. See you. Thanks for coming on, Craig. Thank you. We always love having you on. And speaker, thank you for being on as well. If the Christian said that he was going to stop Bible quotes and said the doctors found that something that might kill him is alive and well. Wait, what are we talking about?
Just that there was a Christian who said he was going to stop Bible quotes and said doctors found something that might kill him. He's alive and well.
Ah.
No, I don't. I'm not sure who you're talking about specifically there, speaker.
Yeah.
Remember to hit the like button.
Thank you.
And we shall see you all next week.
Yep, and
Yep,
thanks
we'll get
Tuna
here.
as well for being on, and thanks for Apathius and Steve-O. Thanks for being able to make it at the end.
Yeah.
Hey.
We'll see.
Oh.
Yeah,
Thank us Aussies for actually managing to not get caught by the chains of. It was a very close thing. I was saying just when I got on that I almost was an hour late because you guys went along and shifted into daylight saving
Oh,
without letting
yeah.
Australia know. And I thought, I should check. You go, it starts in 4 minutes' time. Ah, shit!
well,
The
next
reason I
week.
got up early was I needed to take some painkillers, and I went, holy shit, it starts soon. Hang on.
Well, next week it gets an hour later for you, right? Do you guys adjust?
We don't.
No, we don't have it here.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
All
okay.
right. Okay.
It
I
upsets
guess
our
it's just Neo.
cows.
Ah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the
All
cows don't have
It
watches.
goes back to normal for me next week.
All right.
Okay.
See you
All right. Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
All right, fellas.
Y'all
Have a
next
good
week,
one.
everybody.
All right. Bye.
Through fear we scriptures written in disguise, veiling men in holy lies. Faith without a place to land, truth that crumbles when it's scanned. Show me logic carved in flame, not a God who hides in shame. Test the world and break the spell. Truth survives where falsehoods fail. Won't you release, let the silence break. Break the silence, shake the faith. Truth survives the hardest quake. Hold to truth, no more opaque. Reason's voice, it sings so clear through fear we hear. Through the noise, dissolve the fear. Rise above what you revere. No more shadows dressed as truth. Light reveals what lies uncouth. No more chains disguised as proof. Reason frees the mind uncouth. Let the evidence ascend. This is fallacy's end. No more shadows, only light. No more blind.